So welcome today to our Nuvisan Talk, live talk, how to translate your oncology target into a preclinical candidate. So we are very happy in your interest in joining us today, and I'm co-hosting this event today, and I would shortly like to introduce myself. So I'm Carlos Stresemann. I'm heading the therapeutic oncology research within the Innovation Campus Berlin, which is a Research and Discovery Excellence Center within the Nuvisan Group here in Berlin. I personally joined industry 13 years ago by joining the oncology research of Bayer, and I was heading different drug discovery programs, starting from target discovery up to preclinical IND-enabling studies. In my current function in therapeutic oncology research, we are mainly covering different pharmacology activities in really characterizing drugs as well as indications. And just if you're irritated, so we are still separated here because of the current Corona situation. Nevertheless, I would like to give my co-host Martin also the opportunity to introduce himself.
Yeah, thanks, Carlos. So we are protected here by this plexiglass. Hopefully we won't need it for the next webinar. But for today we have it. So yeah, good afternoon or good morning, depending on where you dial in from. And a warm welcome also from myself. So as Carlos said, my name is Martin Lange, and I'm head of the translational research group within therapeutic research at ICB. I'm a biologist by training, and my background is in oncology research, mainly through the time that I spent at Bayer, where I was a project leader for oncology projects, mostly in the lead optimization and preclinical development phase. And at Nuvisan ICB, I focus on translational research aspects, supporting projects moving into the clinic, as well as reverse translational aspects. And yeah, I very much look forward to this presentation, and hand back to Carlo for the introduction.
Yeah, thank you, Martin. So what do we want to do today? So we will start introducing Nuvisan, who we are, where we are coming from, and what kind of services we are able to offer. Afterwards, we will use 3 real-life examples to showcase a little bit how we usually approach different questions in drug discovery programs. So in the first case study, we will talk a little bit about target validation. The second study will deal with the combination study. And the last study will be about biomarker identification. Then we will end having a Q&A session, giving you also the opportunity of asking any burning question which might arise during our talk. Some short housekeeping rules. So your microphone is muted by default. And as said, please use your chat box for your questions, also in between, so that we can catch them up at the end. Recording as well as slide will be sent afterwards to your inbox. So introducing Nuvisan. So Nuvisan is a fully integrated drug discovery and early development service CRO company. Martin and I, we belong to the Innovation Campus Berlin, which represents a preclinical excellence site. We are dealing basically with basic research, target identification, molecule discovery, up to preclinical IND-enabling studies, all those kind of services. But within the Nuvisan group, we are also able to support you in the clinic by offering pharmaceutical service as well as analytical lab services. So we aim to cover everything from the target validation up to molecule discovery, up to the patient. It's a management-owned company, which has a very good advantage of having really short communication paths. Here you can see the Innovation Campus Berlin Research Tower. It's located on the Bayer Research Campus. And so where's the mouse? Yeah. And the Innovation Campus Berlin has been launched last years by transferring a large proportion of the former Bayer research site to Nuvisan. So 370 experienced drug discovery staff has been transferred from Bayer to Nuvisan. And we are a fully integrated research site covering different departments. So we have the lead discovery department representing the screening. We have life science chemistry, which are our chemistry colleagues. We are in therapeutic research covering oncology as well as other indications. And last but not least, we have our preclinical compound profiling colleagues representing everything related to DMPK and toxicology questions. One specialty of the Innovation Campus Berlin is that we can really offer drug discovery under one roof at one site. So we in therapeutic research, we are trained to work in cross-functional teams together with our colleagues from chemistry, screening, as well as from DMPK to answer drug discovery project questions. And we are bringing in our long year experiences in industry, and we keep thereby our industry standards as well. So we are able to take over fully integrated projects as well as sub-projects, but we can also answer individual questions. And I think, Martin likes to present now what are our capabilities, especially in pharmacology and therapeutic research.
Yeah, thank you for the introduction, Carlo. And I will take over here and talk a little bit about how we can support your project to try to develop the optimal drug candidates for the most relevant indications. So we can start and join your project very early. If you have an interesting target that you would like to explore, we can help you and come up with a robust target validation plan and come to a data-driven decision whether this is the right target for you and for us to potentially explore together. If you already have some interesting lead candidates, or we come up with lead candidates together with our colleagues in high throughput screening, we can then support you in translating on-target activity in vitro to a robust proof of principle experiment in vivo. So basically throughout the whole drug discovery value chain, but especially during lead optimization, we can support projects with high quality pharmacology studies that really provide value to your project. And finally, of course, we aim for a smooth transition into the clinic and also aim to de-risk projects as early as possible. And we do so by biomarker-guided exploration of the clinical indication space, trying as good as possible to translate the preclinical findings to a clinical situation. So with that, let's take a look at our oncology expertise at ICB. So as Carlo mentioned, many of our colleagues have been working in Bayer pharma research before, and quite a few of them have been working in oncology actually. So because of that, we have quite a bit of expertise in different oncogenic modalities, oncogenic signaling pathways, and therapeutic areas, as you can see on the left side here. Plus, we have quite a bit of experience actually to work with different modalities, such as small molecules, but also biologics, including antibodies and ADCs. So yeah, basically throughout the last 15 years, we could gather all this experience, and our scientists were quite successful in supporting the transition of multiple oncology programs into the clinic at Bayer. And you can see some of the modalities and targets summarized on the word cloud here on the right side. Okay, let's take a little bit of time and go through the pharmacology capabilities at ICB. So I've now lost the screen here, actually. Yeah. So we go back. All right, perfect. So let's talk about our pharmacology capabilities. We can provide project support all the way from target validation up to clinical development with our long-standing expertise, including different modalities that we can work on. Regarding our in vivo capabilities, we have state-of-the-art functional genomics and expression platforms. These include CRISPR-Cas technology, as well as bulk and single-cell sequencing. In addition, we have facilities for FACS, histology, and microscopy. And we have quite a bit of experience, and I think this is also quite unique. A lot of experience in coming up with project-specific cell-based assays to really support a specific project question and get it to the next stage. And here we have access to primary cells, cell lines, as well as iPSCs. Moreover, we have broad experience and capabilities regarding in vivo pharmacology. We can perform both xenograft and syngeneic mouse models or rat models, depending on the question to be asked. And we can perform anti-tumor efficacy studies, address questions of PK/PD relationships, have studies around immuno-oncology, including the important ex vivo analyses on tumor cell infiltration of immune cells. We can also offer metastases models. And finally, we have capabilities around radiation and imaging. So as you can see, quite a broad portfolio of capabilities. And I guess for your particular project or question, we should just have a discussion on how we can support you best. All right, so that concludes already our little introduction to Nuvisan ICB. And we come to the first poll where we ask for your active participation. So since ICB is relatively new to the Nuvisan group, we want to ask you, have you worked with Nuvisan before? And you should now have a window popping up to show that question or that poll. And
so first answers are coming in. Interesting.
Yeah. Let's give a little bit time for people to answer the poll.
Yeah. That's interesting. So a lot of new faces, obviously, to the Nuvisan world.
Yeah, that's great, because then obviously we can introduce you to our services here.
Yeah. And also some people which we should know. So it's interesting. So friends from us, maybe.
Yeah.
So hello to those as well. But we make maybe also new friends.
Yeah, so there are some colleagues that, or some participants that have not worked with Nuvisan, but have worked with us before. Yeah, okay, so nice to see those familiar faces without seeing the faces actually, but yeah. Okay.
Good, so I think we're almost through, as I can see. So
yeah, let's finish the poll and we can show the results here.
Let's share them.
All right, let's see how it looks like.
Yeah.
We do have it on the screen now, I think. And yeah, as you can see, majority has not worked with Nuvisan before. And yeah, as I said, happy to introduce you to our services. Great.
Good, so let's close.
Okay. Close this poll, and then we can move on to the topic of our presentation for today, which is how to translate your oncology target into a preclinical candidate. And we've chosen this puzzle to visualize some of the key aspects that we think are of importance to be successful in oncology drug development, but also to showcase the complexity. So every piece of the puzzle needs to fit together to come up